welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is Hexarchy, or Hexarchy 4X Deck Builder. And yeah, 4X Deck Builder is a good description of what this is. I'm like, in case you forgot or don't know, 4X is an abbreviation of explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. It's like when you think of a 4X game, you're probably going to be thinking of Civilization. Not the only one of those out there, but probably the preeminent pure 4X game out there. Now, this is something more akin to a digital version, if you will, of Settlers of Catan, even though that also exists. Now, it's basically, what if Civilization had cards and were generally faster paced? It's the best way I could put it. Like, first, in keeping with the name here, it is hex-based. This is one of those small choices that has a profound effect on everything. You know, do you go hex-based or do you go tile-based? You know, square-based, if you will. And, you know, with a game with a name like Hexarchy, you would expect hexagons. And it does not disappoint in that field. And, yeah, and you take the reins of one of 10 great civilizations, you know, Persia, Greece, Rome, China, the Aztecs, what have you, and your job is to, well, fulfill the victory conditions.
So, you know, the usual.
Well, it depends on what those victory conditions are.
Valid.
You know, like here, I think it's like, well, it's a bunch of stuff, but like the next tutorial mission will be get a city up to civilization level 6 or 7, which actually takes a long time. Whereas the final tutorial mission, it's like, get 70 hexes. Which, once again, for a game that touts its timeliness, these tutorial missions run counter to that. You know, like, right here, 1 to 10 players, 30 to 60 minutes. In what fucking universe? Because it's like, actually fulfilling those victory conditions takes a lot longer than, say, conquering the enemy.
Indeed.
No. So it depends on what you're doing in a particular game. And yeah, instead of a text tree, you have cards. In fact, the tech tree is built into the card system. You know, like, you will get technologies, or I don't remember what they called them. You know, stuff like writing. You know, which will unlock things for you. You know, like units or buildings, or even wonders. Yeah. was another goal. Being able to build a wonder. Like, honestly, once again, this game is kind of hard to talk about in the abstract versus actually playing it. Because, there's a lot going on here. Like, to go through every single system would probably verge, if not downright delve into tedium. Because there's, once again, but the basics are your movement is based off of the amount of hammers you have in a given turn. And the amount of hammers you have is based off of certain criteria. In a given scenario. Yes, I suppose it is interesting to see this game using cards. And thankfully it works out well. Like, a lot better than I thought it was going to, honestly, Mr. Sargent. Because, I've played Civilization and Age of Wonders. And it does operate something akin to that. Like, you've got all your card moves, but, where you're really going to get into the Civilization, Age of Wonders, etc., is on all the troop movements. Because those are not card dependent, surprisingly enough. Like, building troops, yeah, you have to have the card there and put it down and, the proper amount of hammer points in order to build that troop. But once a troop is built, you don't have to have X amount of hammers or, another currency, because there are other, there's like gold and marble, and those are used in conjunction with other things. Like, gold is the stuff that maintains your cities and your armies, which is gathered by peasants. And you got to make sure you're bringing in more gold than you're spending. Now, I didn't actually run into a problem with that, but I presume that'd be an issue at some point. Anyway, once your troops are built and a turn has passed, unless you have a specific card called Mobilization, which will allow you to use a troop that turn. Anyway, once you're able to move your troops, you don't have to worry about another system in terms of using said troop. Like, you can only use them once per turn, but you can use them no matter how many cards you played or when in your turn you are. Like, if you want to move your troops and have them do all their actions at the beginning of the turn, at the end of the turn, somewhere in the middle, it doesn't matter. Which shows a shocking amount of flexibility in this system. And in terms of what the troops do, well, once again, it depends on what troops you've got. Because, you can break them down into three types. Scouts, which let you look into things. Settlers, which build new cities. And various attack troops. They're the ones that will seize territory, conquer cities, attack enemy units, what have you. And there are many, there are swordsmen, axemen, generic warriors. Some civilizations have specific troops, like the Romans have centurions. I would presume that all the civilizations have their unique troops, but did not get far enough to see that were the case. But anyway, in terms of your card building, like your deck building, like I said, it's a weird sort of tech tree thing, but not as robust, if I'm being honest, because you can only have like one pathway unlocked. Like if you're going agrarian, let's say, versus industrial, you can only pick one or the other, not both, which is actually rather limiting to an actual 4X game. At least in theory. Principle, you probably won't be unlocking every single spoke on the tech tree. And yeah, this is actually a really good game. It is a disappointment that I only got the one code, because this is a board game, card game type thing. And it would have been nice to have been able to explore the multiplayer. But, you work with what you get or don't get. Because this game is also fairly pricey. I mean, nowhere near as pricey as actually investing into an actual German-style board game or, heaven forbid, a card game. Anyway, this game is clocking in at $20, which is honestly a discount. Like, this game could have gotten away with going for $30, $35, and it still would have been worth it. Anyway, Petty, you've been playing the demo. How have you been enjoying the game?
Not really. Like, I'm just having trouble wrapping my brain around it. There's way too much going on for me.
I didn't have a problem with that. Granted, I wasn't live demoing it either.
Yeah.
Like I said, what I described is just, some of the surface stuff. There is a shit ton of stuff that's going on here. Like, the trading system. Like, there's a reason why it's got a 3-part training tutorial that lasts a fucking long time.
Sounds like a German-style board game.
Mm-hmm. Now, Galaxy is probably up your alley.
It does seem a little bit... I mean, it would be hard to get into, and it would be better to play with other people, but...
Right.
It is at least somewhat interesting.
Yeah, I'm just showing the stuff that you play versus the stuff that Petty plays.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's about all I got on Hexarchy. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
No.
All right, then. So, yeah, that'll about do it. Coming up on the week ahead. So, on Wednesday, April 17th, we'll be having Harrison of Switchback Studio. We'll be talking about their first release, Grippy Golf. Grippy Golf is a speedrunning 3D platformer where objects stick to the ball. Can you get a hole-in-one? Not exactly sure if they're sending us footage or a code. They were a bit confused on that. Anyway, we do have a Friday show happening. We'll be attempting to have Rustem Esmironov of Rubido Games on the program. We were supposed to have this interview a few weeks ago, but that got delayed by a cat going through a window.
Yup.
And we'll be talking about the game Soulbind Tales of the Underworld. It's up to you to become the Endless, a mysterious skeleton, and embark on a perilous journey. Collect monster body parts to enhance your character and use a variety of abilities. Explore sinister locations, fight mythical creatures, and uncover the secrets of the underworld. Now, Petty, you should have this game in your inventory because we were given it a couple weeks ago.
All right, I will see. I probably do.
Yeah. And we do have a new episode of MSP planned. Hopefully things go a bit smoother than they have the past couple of weeks. And anyway, until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.